Hello, hello, welcome. This is True Moon Tarot. My name is FeleciaMarie. And I thought since I had a little bit of time today because I woke up really early this morning, I thought, why not? Let's go ahead and record a video. Let's do a reading. What I'll probably do is put the whole video on YouTube and then put a portion of it on TikTok with the link to YouTube is probably what I'll do. So if you're from TikTok, hi, lovely, nice to meet you. Let me know in the comment below. Let me know what resonates. Also, feel free to comment on TikTok too if you want. Whatever, doesn't matter. Just, let me know. I want to know if I'm helping people, basically. That's all it really is I just want to make sure I'm doing and getting these messages clear and across and that they make sense for you, I want them to make sense. The only thing I don't like about using this on here is there's no way to actually fast forward. You know what I mean? I have to go to the next one, and I'd rather it just be, I'll put this one on. I'd rather it just be shuffled like it's supposed to be. But anyway, if you do hear the music, awesome. Hopefully it does not get me in trouble. I feel like I should be doing a reading for those who are close to me, who are aligned to me. I feel like I should be doing a reading for us, for what we could expect, what we can expect to happen on the 5th. We do know that there's been a lot of that. Okay. There's been a lot of TikTok videos and a lot of videos going around about what's going to happen when they turn the Hadron Particle Collider on, and what's going to happen and how things are going to play out. And personally, I don't want to say scared, because scared isn't the word that I would use anyways. Even if I was in a low vibrational state, I don't think I would use the word scared, because scared for me isn't the same as scared for others. You know what I mean? Scared for me involves a lot of physical torture. We'll just go with that. And I don't want to say torture. I'm sorry. Did not mean to say that word. Apologize. We have a sun at the bottom of the deck. I did see, that's the second time I've seen this one. So this is the 2 of Swords. That means that there's a decision. That means that for some of us, for those who are aligned to this video, for those who are called to watch this, that some of us have not necessarily a decision to make, but we're kind of teeter-tottering between the two. We'll say the 2 realms. We're teeter-tottering between the 2 realms. We need to decide whether or not if we want to live in a new higher timeline, or if we want to continue to live in the timeline that we are and go down this path that we're going currently. Or for some of you, it could even split off to a lower timeline, or a timeline that things get a little tougher for you, and you're really there to learn a hard lesson. Personally, that is whatever your soul is calling you to do, is the decision that you will make, is the decision that you will ultimately follow through with. The actions that lead you to that choice ultimately is going to be the one that your soul needs, regardless of whether or not consciously you are aware of that, okay? So what I want to do is I want to pull at least a few cards to see what we can expect to happen for us, for those that are aligned after the 5th, okay? When I stuttered because I saw 414. I was trying to think about what that means. There's a duality point there. There is, regardless, a lesson will be learned. It's just dependent on the severity or the level of difficulty that your soul needs to learn that lesson. Think of it like a game, okay? Think of it like we're playing a video game. You have a choice between beginner, easy, medium, hard, and then expert, right? So the choice that you will be making isn't based off of what is good for you or what is bad for you, because regardless, you're still going to be learning the lesson that is coming for you. The lesson that you are meant to learn at this point in your life is going to be learned. What you have to decide is what timeline, what vibration, what level of difficulty you wish that lesson to come into you, your soul can handle. You know what I mean? Like, think of it also like how we say, or how people say, that God only gives us what we can handle, right? You're gonna handle it regardless. It's just dependent on how you perceive it. Okay? So I'm gonna we'll pull 3 cards. Okay? We'll pull 3 cards. It's a good song. My freaking right here has just been itching so badly. So we have the King of Swords, the 9 of Cups, and the Queen of Wands. So with this, what I'm seeing is I feel like this lesson that's coming is going to be a lesson based off of what you hold dear, okay? There's going to be things coming up from your past that hold special places in your heart and in your mind and in your soul, okay? Some of them may be traumatic for you. Some of them, may be from dark times or from painful memories. But overall, the path that you're going towards, the path that we're heading towards, is to learn how to transmute that and to use it, right? You're going to take those little treasures, so to speak, because all of our memories are treasures, regardless of whether or not they're good or bad, or we perceive them as good or bad. They're still treasures. They are what make you you. Therefore, they should be treasured. You should be grateful that you remember even the most horriblest of things, because that means that it is part of the lesson for you. It helps make up who you are, and it is there to remind you that things can be so much worse. If it is a terrible memory, it's there to remind you that things can be worse. You also have yet to transmute that energy that's rooted in that memory into something that is beneficial for you. That is why when you look back on it, it kind of triggers something. Maybe your heart feels like it's going to fall out of your chest, or you get a pit in your stomach, right? It's because you haven't transmuted that energy, right? You haven't utilized what you were given. Okay, so this time that's coming in for us is it's a moment of us really utilizing that energy, of us utilizing the energy, utilizing the energy that is not only coming in for us, but that we've been holding on to, okay? That is what this coming lesson is about. It's about you embarking on that journey to understand your true power, understand where your power comes from, understand how you can use your power, okay? We have the Fool at the bottom of the deck, which further confirms this new journey that's coming. This is a new chapter in your life. You may not have been consciously, you may have unconsciously in the past transmuted energy, but now it's time to consciously transmute it, for you to feel what it feels like when you are using that up, when you are allowing it to become something beautiful, okay? One of the ways that I like to visualize the transmuting of energy, at least for me, and I don't mind sharing this with you guys, but one of the ways that I like to do that is I like to, if I'm meditating, okay, we'll do it this way. If I'm meditating and I have a moment to actually sit and think about what energy it is that I wish to transmute, I will sit there and I will visualize not only the shield that I keep up around myself most days, or some days I don't even, I wouldn't say most days, because some days I don't consciously think about having the shield. I just already know it's there. And I feel like it's more so based off of my mood rather than me consciously being like, ooh, let's shield myself today. Okay, does that make sense? Anyways, so the light that I picture, that I visually feel, that I visually see and feel around me throughout the day, when I'm meditating and I have moments to sit down and actually think about things, right? I'll sit down and I'll visualize the aura that's around me, the light that's around me, and I'll visualize it slowly starting to kind of seep away. But it's not seeping away. It's this is where the transmuting takes place for me. Okay, think of it like like when you're dizzy and you kind of see stars, how like that little, I don't know if that's the noise I imagine it makes. Okay, guys, sorry. But you know how when you get dizzy, you see stars, okay? And you know what I'm talking about, okay? It's like that, but it's with the light that surrounds me. So you can see it. I see it going off in all these different colors, and of course there's usually it's 3 or 4 colors. It's not like just billions of colors, but it's enough to where I can see that it's coming off of me. And what I do is I think about those colors, the pieces of energy that are coming off, that are seeping away from me, seeping out of me. They are going to their perspective slots, okay? Their perspective areas, their perspective rooms. Sometimes I visualize it as bowls. They're going into bowls. Sometimes I think about it going into a room. Sometimes I think about it going into a flower, like it all gets together and it creates this beautiful flower of that is this specific color. So you can do it any way that you want. But I visualize it coming off of me and it coming together in the color representing the energies, or representing the emotions, the energy, the frequency, so to speak, that is that color, okay? Consciously, I don't really know exactly like what the frequencies would be, but as far as the colors, usually it's like red I associate with passion or lust, depending on how much of it there is. Green can be your abundance. It can also be greed. It can also be envy. Blue is more of like crying, like very, very, very chaotic emotions, right? Also think of like, because like wind and water, people describe sometimes as blue, right? So wind and water is both very, I don't want to say chaotic, but it's very movable. If anything can make it immediately turn off one direction, right? If you have a river and you cut a hole, all this water's go, or cut a hole. You cut a tunnel or like a little slope or whatever for more water to go down. There's a ton of water that's just going to separate from the stream and go into that direction, right? So that's what I mean by chaotic. So that's what I think of the blue is. Sometimes yellow, it kind of just depends. Yellow, sometimes I think of it as happy, sad. Sometimes it is like memories, like of my grandmother, that I am happy and grateful that I have those memories, but it makes me sad because I can't make any more memories with her, right? So that would be happy, sad. So anyway, so these different emotions, these energies get sectioned out, right? And they go and they get separated. Then from there, I will go and I can either write about stuff, or I can sit there and visualize that energy coming back to me and seeing what it feels, and taking account into what my body picks up on when I visualize that new energy, that after I've dispersed everything, right, and it's just me and I'm grounded again and it's just me, and I allow this stuff to come back from one section at a time. How does it make my body feel? Where do I feel it in my body? Where am I picking it up on? What is it making me think about? What visual imagery am I getting in my head, right? What auditory things am I hearing? What sometimes it's also as little as, do I hear any bugs around me? Because there's been some times where like I'm kind of in a angry sort of emotion. I don't want to say that it's angry, but it's a little angry. It's a little rageful. We'll say rageful. Rageful is a better word, because I don't get angry. I get rageful. Like I go from 0 to 100 real fast. So I don't want to say real fast, but when it's something like that, it's real fast. Do I see bugs? Are there bugs around? Because I've started to notice when I get to peaks, when I get to moments of peak anger for me, or when the energy is building and I haven't had time to disperse things, I'll start to notice a lot of flies around the house. I'll start to notice centipedes coming into my house when we've never had them ever in our house before. And I don't just mean like I'll see them across the room. No, those things will be crawling on top of my tarot cards when there was nothing there to begin with. Like, I just stepped out of the shower, I've wiped the water up off the floor, you know, like, there's nothing there that I never saw anything, and then I sit down and then there's just bugs. Like, I'm talking about, like, that stuff. So I pay attention to what is around. I also pay attention throughout the day, what I pick up on, you know, what songs come on, what it makes me feel like, stuff like that, okay? So now is the time for you to figure out how to use and transmute that energy. I am so sorry, guys. I went into babble mode completely. Hopefully on TikTok I can cut this. Hopefully on TikTok I can put the points that are more important. Maybe it's all down to the loss we learn. If you don't know, it's Dermot Kennedy. Let's pull. What would help us? What is it, one thing that we should remember as far as transmuting this energy? What will help us in the act of transmuting it? What will help us in the act of transmuting our energy? Well, transmuting the energy that we've picked up on. Thank you. The Hierophant card. This card has been coming out a lot for me lately. I don't want to say a lot, but it's been coming out more often than not when I do readings for myself. You know what works best for you as far as transmuting energy. You don't have to listen to me. You don't have to do what I do. You know what works best for you. Trust your instincts, trust your intuition, trust your gut. Make sure you're paying attention, because more often than not, when you have, I don't want to say random thoughts, but like when you have thoughts that, we'll say random, because more often they're not random, but logically you don't know why you thought of them or why they popped into your head at that moment. It's probably because it's your intuition picking up on something that is either around you, something that somebody is pushing towards you, or something that you are unknowingly drawing towards you, okay? And by something, I mean energy, okay? Replace the word something with energy in everything I just said, okay? You know what works best for you. You know what makes sense for you. You are the creator of your own story. And it's more perfect because we have the Hierophant card here. And what makes up a Hierophant? A Hierophant is somebody who is able to transmute that energy, who is able to speak to the spirits, to their ancestors, who is able to look into the future, look into the past, look into what might be showing up. You are there because you have done the work and you understand your intuition. You trust and believe in yourself. And that is ultimately what you are creating in the path that you are going down when you do transmute this energy that you've been building up for so long. Once you finally polish all of that treasure that you've been keeping locked away in that sweet little box of yours, you are going to shine brighter than I think anybody in your history of your bloodline, anybody who knows you, who can see your aura. I think you are just going to be beautiful, and we are going to have so many beautiful, shining, perfect beings running around. Imperfectly perfect. That's one thing that I've said since I was about 14. Imperfectly perfect. I am perfectly fine being with imperfectly perfect, because I'm perfect for who I am, but I'm imperfect for everybody else. That's why I'm the black sheep of the family. It is what it is. Now, and we have the 10 of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. I was going to pull one more card, but I think we're just going to end it with that one, guys. So we are at like 20 minutes. Sorry. But 10 of Pentacles, completion, abundance, things coming to an end, but also a beginning, a new cycle. I was just curious. Complicated. So we'll say the next 5 cards. We'll go with 5. So we've got the 10 of Pentacles, the Hermit card, speaks to isolation. There we go. Sorry, guys. Isolation. What I mean by that is something occurred within your life. I feel like underneath the 10 of Pentacles, this is showing you the journey that you've taken to get to this point. So you've taken to get to where you are today. You were down and out. Somebody or something made you feel like you needed to be secluded. You needed to go inward. You needed to work on yourself in order to truly make a better place for yourself. Okay? Does that make sense? We have the 7 of Wands, which speaks to setting down roots. It speaks to the growing of things, right? I don't want to say the growing of things, but the creation aspect of things, so to speak. If something is strong and sturdy, if it is, if the intentions that were put into it to begin with were good or not. For this particular reading, for what has happened, I feel like after the Hermit card, so you felt like you needed to go inwards, you needed to work on yourself. You were the one who created your roots. I feel like the 7 of Wands is specifically speaking to your root chakra. Like you had to go so inward with your shadow work and go so far, so deep down into your memory and into the foundation of your bloodline, however you chose to do that, that you somehow opened a pathway, that you somehow managed to create a flow of traffic. Yeah, a flow, that you somehow managed to create a flow of traffic for things to start trickling down. Because your job, I am a strong believer that those who are aligned to me and those in my generation, majority of those in my generation, in case you were wondering, I am 27 years old. I was born in 1994. So I am a strong believer that those in my generation, our job, our souls, the one thing in common that we all have is our soul's purpose, or part of our soul's purpose, was here to transmute the energy that our ancestors had built up over the decades. Because our generation is going into a new world. We are going into a new era, a new way of life for humans, a new way of life for our species. And so it has been our job to take care of all of that energy. That way we didn't bring it with us into the new world. That way we could start fresh and we could start over with a clean slate. Which brings me to our next card, which is the Justice card, okay? Now, like I said, our job has been to work on the bloodline, has been to transmute that energy, so that way when our souls do go into the new world, we are able to start with a clean slate, okay? However, we also have the 3 of Swords card here, which speaks to somebody backstabbing somebody else, which brings me to the point that you have had people, what is happening in the world, what is happening globally. That is also interesting because the song that comes on as I'm saying this, what is happening globally is also happening to you personally, just not on as big of a scale. There we go. Don't know why that was so difficult for me to get out. So by what I mean by this, okay, is somebody personally backstabbing you, regardless of whether that is just emotionally, that is physically, that is relative, it is a friend, it is even your own shadow self sabotaging yourself, right? Whether you are self-sabotaging your journey, or self-sabotaging your recovery, or self-sabotaging a promotion, whatever it may be, it is also happening globally. What do we see happening in the world today in the United States as far as legislation is concerned? What do we see happening on a global scale as far as every country is concerned? There are things going on, and people are stabbing people in the back. Countries are stabbing countries in the back. They are taking advantage of the system and trying to create a mode of chaos, okay? Like I said, it's happening globally. We also have the Five of Wands along with, again, the Fool card, okay, which is where we end. So with the Five of Wands, that is those who understand, again, brings us around full circle, that you cannot have light without the darkness, that you cannot have one without the other, that you must understand the dark. Why do I always do this? That you must understand the darkness in order to transmute the light, okay? That you must understand the light in order to transmute the darkness. Okay? You cannot have one without the other. You have to understand that both of them are equally important. Both of them serve purposes. And it is our job to, again, transmute that energy, not just for ourselves, but for those around us, so that way we can, again, bring everybody into a new world, okay? Which is where we begin with the Fool, okay? So like I said, that brings us full circle. That is the end of this reading. I kind of babbled on and it kind of went everywhere at some points, but this is how I do my reading, guys. So I hope that you enjoyed. I hope that it made sense, and I hope it resonated with you guys, and I hope you all have a wonderful, fantastic day. Bye.